Today's Toy Spot, we are having a look at the Hasbro Star Wars Luke Skywalker. Though he doesn't really appear in The Force Awakens like this is Luke Skywalker, probably depicting him more from Empire Strikes Back. The Force Awakens figures are kind of an amalgamation of new figures, new characters in the upcoming movie, as well as some classic characters as well. The reason why Spot also wanted to look at this figure too is it does have the final piece that we can put together to add to whatever robot we were building. He does come with a backpack, but you can add it to the other things that we had to look at with the other released figures. Spin around the back. The other figures available were Captain Phasma and Kylo Ren, both of which we've already had a look at, and Luke Skywalker. Again, 2 new characters from the movie, and then 1 classic character. A quick read-up says, Luke Skywalker, determined to rescue his captive rebel friends, the young Jedi in training must face Darth Vader and confront the truth of his father's fate. To check out more, you can go to www.starwars.hasbro.com. And Spot's going to take a break. I'm going to get this opened up, and when we come back, we're getting a better look at Star Wars Luke Skywalker. There's more heading your way, guys. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. And just before we have a look at Luke Skywalker, he does come with a pamphlet, the same as the other 3 figures that we had to look at. Luke Skywalker comes with a backpack, Kylo Ren comes with a claw, and Captain Phasma comes with a bladed buzzsaw weapon. Combine accessories from these 3 figures, and you make this, which again kind of looks like a reject from BattleBots. I don't know. So let's go ahead, we'll put that to the side. Before we have a look at Luke Skywalker, I don't know if he's going to stand properly. Maybe he will, maybe he won't. There's his backpack. The section does open up. There's not really much to be said for it. It's just like a backpack of sorts. But we can go ahead, and there's a peg on there, and there's a peg hole on his back. You can plug that into place like that. And just move his arms out of the way. Just rotate this, make sure it's facing the right way, and try not to pop that off. I'll get that in a second. And he has this. It's just like just like a backpack. I might actually have it, you know what? I might have it the wrong way. I think that folds over. Yeah, that folds over like that. Of course, missing the other piece. Don't worry, I'll get that in a second. There's like a little clip at the top too. I thought for a second there you could clip the lightsaber to it, but I'm not going to try to fight it on there. I really don't know why that's there. It might have something to do more so when you peg everything together. Hold on a second, let's grab that other piece. And let's get the other piece back on there. I mean, it just clips into place. That's nothing to lose sleep over. And that fits over like that. Again, it's got that little clip at the top. It must have something to do with the robot once you put it all together. There is Luke's backpack. A little ridiculous, a lot ridiculous. Let's open that up. Fold, well, don't fold these back. We'll just pop this completely off. We'll put Luke there for a second. Now, if I'm looking at the instructions, I want to make sure, again, I don't miss anything here. This section folds like this. Let's reach off camera to the other pieces that we've already taken. And we've got the claw. We can go ahead and fit this over top. Everybody's at the edge of their seat. I just know it. This fits. I think I've got this facing the right way. Oh, no, I don't. This fits the other way because there's a peg there and the hole there. Line the 2 up. And that snaps into place. And that's what you got so far. Then go ahead and take Phasma's weapon. And that plugs, just want to make sure I got this right, that plugs into place like that. And it gives you this. What this is, I don't know. I guess in Star Wars world, you could imagine this to be a drone, something that the Empire has sent out to go looking and disperse of, rebels or Jedis. Again, I don't know what these pieces are for. They don't really match to anything. It's not like they, even on the display here, they don't actually attach to anything. So So I don't know what these little clips are for. Maybe something that they originally had planned. But that, my friends, is what it looks like when you get all the pieces put together. Very exciting, I know, very exciting. Let's go ahead and move that out of the way and pick up Luke here. Let's have a look at the figure. For a bare bones Luke, and that's essentially what these are all basic figures, so they have very little in the way of posability. I'll get to that in a second. Despite that, it's a good looking figure. It's not bulky. It's not like the old Power of the Force figures that they all look like weightlifters. But, you know, for it just being Luke, it's not overly bad, to be honest. I just wish it had more posability. I wish you could actually move the arms out, move the legs out. Why these could not have been ball jointed, have some extra. I know they're trying to save costs. But I mentioned this before. You know, give us 3 3/4 inch figures, which is what we're looking at right now. Give us the 6-inch figures, but make them superposable. Because they release so many other Star Wars things when these movies come out, and those never sell. Focus efforts on 2 things, if you ask me, and just do those really, really well. Because the figure looks good. I just wish he had more posability to him. Also, this is one of those figures where you really have to, when you pick them off the pegs in the stores, really be aware of what kind of figure you're grabbing. Like, don't just grab a figure blindly. I don't know why you would do that. But the figure has really bad quality problems. I grabbed one of the best ones there, but I saw some where Luke's eyes were wandering down the side of his face. A couple, he looked a little cross-eyed. This was actually the best of the bunch. But just be warned that you do have to kind of look for these, as they might have some imperfections. His whole outfit is really well painted for the fact that you can't really do too much with the figure itself. If you move his arm out of the way, he does have a removable blaster, which is a nice touch. They could have easily just sculpted that and called it a day, but no, you can remove it. And you can take the blaster and fit it into his hand. Just like that. What you can also do, too, is give Luke his lightsaber. And at least it's not just a rod of translucent blue. They've gone as far as to sculpt at least the bottom of it where it would have projected that beam. Cast in silver. Well, at least the handle hilt is silver, and there's a little bit of black going on there, too. There is a hook. And I'm just moving the figure's arms out of the way. There's a little loop on the bottom of his lightsaber, which makes me think it could hook onto something. But, unless this is removable, which I don't think it is, this is one of those lightsabers that are fixed, I think, to itself. It's sculpted in. But I was going to say, this probably was a reused lightsaber, no doubt. 100% it was probably reused from another figure, where it could have looped on, hooked onto to his belt or something like that. This has it, but there's no place that you can actually attach it. Let's go ahead and attach the lightsaber into his hand. And you got Luke ready to go. Blaster in one, lightsaber in the other. Luke's ready. Luke is ready. When it comes to Luke's posability, again, this is where it's a little more on the limited side. We'll take all his accessories off. Luke's head, camera, hello. Hi, camera wanted to leave for a second. The head on Luke is on a swivel. The shoulders rotate all the way around. No elbow bend, no wrist swivel. And legs go back and forth. That's all he does. At least his legs can bend back. Not that you would have Luke going like this, but at least they can bend forward and back. Sometimes they make the back section so squared off that it always hits to about that point and you can't do any more with it. Luke, at least you can go a little further back. Not that you would have Luke doing some force run. I think that looks kind of silly. Good figure once again by Hasbro. Just a real shame that you can't do much with the posability end of it. If this figure had the posability in the elbows, the legs, give us more ball joints, I would call this a really solid Luke figure. Sadly, though, he doesn't have that. If you can get past that point and you don't mind that this is a bare bones basic figure of Luke, I think he's worth picking up if you don't already have a whole bunch of Lukes. Just kind of wish that Hasbro would venture a little bit more into giving posability for a figure I think really deserves it. Today's Toy Spot, we were looking again at the Star Wars Force Awakens figures, and while he was not in Force Awakens looking like this, unless maybe in flashbacks, we were looking today at Luke Skywalker. Stay tuned, guys. Spot's going to have more Toy Spots heading your way. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.